Standing on the rooftop with my head in the haze, chasing the silver of those summer gone days. The air is so thin I can almost let go, but my boots are like lead on the gravel below. You were the sky that I wanted to fly, but the truth is a gravity that won't let me try. I'm tied to the memories, a heavy iron chain dragging through the mud and the ghost of the rain, while you're just a vapor, a shape-shifting white, dissolving in the reach of the afternoon light. I'm reaching for something I can't even touch, while I'm sinking in the weight of wanting too much. It's just anchors and clouds, a war in the chest. One wants the motion, the other wants rest. I'm tethered to the ground while I'm staring at the blue, between the weight of the world and the spirit of you, drowning in the earth, lost in the heights, caught in the middle of anchors and clouds tonight. Breath, while I'm down here working this longing to death. Yeah, it's anchors and clouds, a war in the chest. One wants the motion, the other wants rest. I'm tethered to the ground while I'm staring at the blue, between the weight of the world and the spirit of you, drowning in the earth, lost in the heights, caught in the middle of anchors and clouds tonight. So heavy, so light, so light, looking for a middle ground, so light, that isn't inside. Just the anchor, just the cloud. I thought I cleared the garden of your name. I burned the leaves and I doused the flame. I turned the soil where the roses died, thinking I'd finally push the ghost aside. But there's a creeping vine beneath the stone, a secret life that's growing all alone. It's wrapping tight around the pipes and beams, choking the breath out of my quietest dreams. The flowers are gone, but the earth is tough. I guess goodbye wasn't deep enough. I pull and I tear till my fingers bleed, but I'm just a victim of a jagged seed. Oh, it's these bitter roots digging in deep in the parts of my soul that I meant to keep, that drinking the rain, that feeding on pain, tangled forever in a dark, heavy vein. I can cut down the tree, I can level the ground, but the bitter roots are where I'm bound. You can't digging in deep in the parts of my soul that I'm meant to keep. The drink in the rain, the feeding on pain, tangled forever in a dark, heavy vein. I can cut down the tree, I can level the ground, but the bitter roots are where I'm bound. Still down there, under the surface, waiting for spring to give that a purpose deep, so deep, bitter roots. We were living in a house built on shifting sand, with a stolen map in a shaking hand. We knew the lease was up, we saw the light turn red, but we chose to ignore what the calendar said. I kept my eyes shut tight just to keep you near, trading the future for a ghost of a here. The clock on the mantle has a jagged sound, like every second is a heavy pound. We were spending minutes that we didn't own, in a kingdom of almost, on a cardboard throne. Now the debt is due and the sky is gray, and I can't find a currency to make you stay. We were just living on borrowed time, committing a beautiful, desperate crime, holding our breath while the hourglass ran, trying to fix what we never could plan. The interest is heartbreak, the price is too high. Now I'm paying the bill for a borrowed goodbye. You can't cheat the sunset, you can't stop the rain, you can't keep the pleasure and dodge all the pain. We pulled from the future to pay for today. Now there's nothing but silence and shadows of gray. Yeah, we were living on borrowed time, committing a beautiful, desperate crime, holding our breath while the hourglass ran, trying to fix what we never could plan. The interest is heartbreak, the price is too high. Now I'm paying the bill for a borrowed goodbye. Time's up, hand back the keys. I'm down on my spirit and down on my knees. Zero, none left, borrowed and gone. The needle's caught in the jagged line, right at the part where you said you were mine. It skips and it stutters, a rhythm mistake, the same three words for my own heart's sake. I'm sitting here watching the vinyl spin round, waiting for a chorus that'll never be found. The dust in the grooves is the ghost of the years, mixed with the salt of 1,000 old tears. I try to move on to the very next track, but the ghost in the machine keeps pulling me back to the night in July, to the bend in the road before the weight of the world became such a load. It's a circular prison, a black plastic cell, ringing like a cracked and a dissonant bell. I know every pop, I know every hiss. It's the only part of you I have left to kiss. kiss were just broken records, playing the same syllable of sorrow, the ghost of a name, trapped in the loop of the way that it felt, watching the wax and the memories melt. I can't stop the music, I can't change the song. I'm just a broken record where I don't belong. Give me a scratch that'll push me through, past the I love and the only you. But the arm is too heavy, the tension's too deep, and I'm dancing in circles while the city's asleep. Yeah, we're just broken records, playing the same syllable of sorrow, the ghost of a name, trapped in the loop of the way that it felt, watching the wax and the memories melt. I can't stop the music, I can't change the song. I'm just a broken record where I don't belong, where I don't. Silence, silence, silence. I dim the lights until the room is blue, creating space for a version of you. I put on that record, the one with the scratch, waiting for the memory and the rhythm to match. I hold out my arms to the empty air, and for a split second I feel you there. The moon projects you against the white wall, a flickering image, silent and tall. I'm following footsteps you're not taking now, leaning my head for a ghostly vow, spinning in circles on the cold hardwood floor, while I'm chasing a feeling that's not here anymore. I'm just dancing with your shadow in the dark, trying to reignite a long extinguished spark. My hands are reaching for what I can't hold, a story of us that's already been told. Step to the left, then a step to the right, dancing with your shadow all through the night. The neighbors must think I finally lost it, moving through the grief and the way that you tossed it. But the silhouette is kinder than the truth of your ghost. It's the version of you that I still love the most. Yeah, I'm dancing with the shadow in the dark, trying to reignite a long extinguished spark. My hands are reaching for what I can't hold, the story of us that's already been told. Step to the left, then a step to the right, dancing with your shadow all through the night. I'm holding the letter I saved in the drawer, but the edges are yellowed and frayed at the core. The deer is a shadow, the always is gone, like a pale morning mist at the break of the dawn. I'm squinting to catch the curve of your G, but the paper is blank where you used to love me. The weather and time have been cruel to the page, turning our passion to dust into age. I remember the heat of the pen in your hand. Now it's just ghost in a white paper land. I try to trace over the lines of my soul, but half of the story has been swallowed up whole. It's just faded ink on a heart-shaped line, a blurred out hello and a ghost of goodbye. The words are dissolving, they're slipping away, like everything else that you promised would stay. I'm reading the silence, I'm chasing the blue, lost in the faded ink version of you. Maybe it's better I can't read the rest, the parts where you claimed I was always the best. If the ink disappears, then the memory might too, and I'll finally stop looking for traces of you. Yeah, it's just faded ink on a heart-shaped line, a blurred out hello and a ghost of goodbye. The words are dissolving, they're slipping away, like everything else that you promised would stay. I'm reading the silence, I'm chasing the blue, lost in the faded ink version of you. Just a white sheet, just an empty space. I'm losing the lines of your beautiful face, fading, faded, gone. The newspapers scattered across the floor. The sunlight is leaking underneath the door, but the crossword is empty, the coffee is cold. Just another story that'll never be told. I'm looking for you in the creases of the sheets, but all I find is silence and the sound of the streets. We used to own the morning, we used to own the light. Before the Saturday shadow turned into a fight. Now I'm picking up pieces of a broken routine, the us in the mirror that I haven't quite seen. A half-eaten toast and a quiet refrain, just the slow, steady rhythm of a soft Sunday rain. Now I'm just living in fragments of a Sunday, trying to find a reason to make it to Monday. A jagged little memory, a splinter of grace. Everywhere I look, I see a ghost of your face. The week is coming at me, but I'm stuck in the grave. a Sunday. The slow motion release, the bells in the distance are ringing for someone else, while I'm just a shell of my former self. Yeah, I'm living in fragments of a Sunday, trying to find a reason to make it to Monday. A jagged little a splinter of grace. Everywhere I look, I see a ghost of your face. The week is coming at me, but I'm stuck in the grave, lost in the fragments of a Sunday. 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, the sun's going down. Just a few more fragments scattered on the ground. Almost Monday, almost gone. It looks like a fortune, it shines like a prize, a shimmering sun that was meant for our eyes. I wore your promise like a heavy gilded ring, believing the beauty was a permanent thing. But I dropped it on the hardwood and heard the empty sound, not the thud of a treasure, just a ring upon the ground. I started to peel back the surface with my nail, watching the luster turn brittle and pale. Beneath all the sparkle, there's nothing but air, a beautiful casing with nobody there. We were rich in the lightning, we were wealthy in the glow, but we're bankrupt in the places where the shadows grow. It's just hollow gold, a flicker and a light, a pretty little sunset in the poison sky. It's played it in forever, but it's empty in the car. I'm holding on to nothing and I can't take anymore. We were worth a million wonders, or so I was told. But now I'm just left with this hollow gold. Buy a heartbeat with a polished up stone. You can't warm a house when you're living alone. The value is dropping, the market is dry, and I'm selling the pieces of our gilded goodbye. Yeah, it's just hollow gold, a flicker and a light, a pretty little sunset, poison sky. It's played it in forever, but it's empty in the car. I'm holding on to nothing and I can't take anymore. We were worth a million wonders, or so I was told. But now I'm just left with this hollow gold. You're it's just hollow. the lock on the front door twice, but I left the kitchen glowing like a block of ice. The porch is a beacon in the neighborhood, showing the spots where we once stood. They say it's a waste of the electric bill, but I'm fighting the dark with a stubborn will, just in case you're driving by late at night and you need a reason to think things are right. The hallway is amber, the bedroom is gold, a warmth in the house that's grown bitter and cold. I can't stand the way the shadows all creep when the world is a graveyard and I'm losing sleep. So I'm burning the bows till the filaments ache, creating the sun for my own heart's sake. It's a neon welcome to an empty hall, watching the moss hit the window wall. I'm leaving the lights on just for a sign that I'm still here waiting on your timeline. A luminous light in the middle of the dark, trying to fan a dead little spark. If I keep it bright, maybe I can pretend that the story hasn't come to an end. Yeah, I'm leaving the lights on. It's a signal fire for a ship that's gone down, the brightest house in this ghost of a town. I'm scared of the moment I flip the last switch and realize I'm stuck in this midnight pit. So I'm leaving the lights on just for a sign that I'm still here waiting on your timeline. A luminous light in the middle of the dark, trying to fan a dead little spark. If I keep it bright, maybe I can pretend that the story hasn't come to an end. Yeah, I'm leaving the lights on. Burning bright, waiting for the car to turn and everything's glowing. Where have you been? The sun's coming up, but I'm still leaving them home. Leaving them home. I'm squinting at the doorway where you stood, trying to sharpen the grain of the wood, but your face is a smudge of amber and gray, like a photograph left in the sun for a day. The harder I look, the more that I lose. The lights playing tricks that I didn't choose. We're a blur in the background of every scene, the static that's living inside of the screen. I reach for your hand, but the depth is all wrong, like a singer who's lost the right key to the song. The edges are bleeding, the colors are wide, and there's nowhere for a clear memory to hide. Now we're just out of focus, a soft edge dream, tearing apart at the digital scene. I'm hunting for clarity, waiting for light, but the lens is all dirty and nothing is right. A beautiful haze of a life we once knew, just staying out of focus with you. If I look from the side, I can almost see plain, the curve of your shoulder, the ghost of the rain. But as soon as I turn to face you head on, the contrast is broken and the image is gone. Yeah, we're just out of focus, a focus with you. And the dark begins. Making the bed like I always do, smoothing the side that belonged to you. I check the mail and I pay the bills, while the world outside keeps spinning its wheels. I wear a smile like a well-tailored coat, hiding the scream that's stuck in my throat. Nobody asks and I don't volunteer how much it hurts just to be standing here. I sit in the car in the grocery lot, staring at things that I almost forgot. The radio's playing a song about grace while I'm tracing the lines of a ghost in this space. It isn't a fire, it isn't a crash, it's just a slow burn of paper and ash. A suburban tragedy perfectly kept in the hours of morning when I haven't slept. It's just quiet desperation, a muffled sound of a heart hitting zero without hitting the ground. No dramatic exit, no cinematic scene, just the gray little spaces in between. I'm drowning in shallows, I'm dying in style, living a life on a permanent trial in quiet desperation. If I broke a window, started to shout, maybe the poison would finally get out. But I fold the napkins and I dim the light, and I carry the heavy into the night. Yeah, it's just quiet desperation, a muffled sound of a heart hitting zero without hitting the ground. No dramatic exit, no cinematic scene, just the gray little spaces in between. I'm drowning in shallows, I'm dying in style, living a life on a permanent trial in quiet desperation. Keep it all in, don't let them see where the cracks begin. Just me, just quiet, just fine. The tide is creeping toward the kitchen floor, bringing the ocean through the cracks in the door. I'm sitting in the dark of this coastal town, watching the furniture start to drift and drown. I used to find comfort in the sound of the surf before it started swallowing our little piece of earth. The sheets are damp with the spray from the cold. The cold is settling in the belly of the stove. I'm singing to the shadows of the life we had, a minor key melody, beautiful and sad. Your name is a seashell I hold to my ear, just to hear the echo of you being here. It's a saltwater lullaby, rocking me slow, deep in the currents where the heavy things go. The waves are the fingers that are brushing my hair, searching for a heartbeat that's no longer there, drifting out to sea on a tear-stained tide, singing my saltwater lullaby. The anchor is rusted, the ropes are all frayed. That's the price for the promises that we never weighed. I'm letting the water rise up to my chin, to wash away the places where your hands have been. Yeah, it's a saltwater lullaby, rocking me slow, deep in the currents where the heavy things go. The waves are the fingers that are brushing my hair, searching for a heartbeat that's no longer there, drifting out to sea on a tear-stained tide, singing my saltwater lullaby. Song, good night. I found them rattling in a porcelain jar, the jagged teeth of every door we left ajar, heavy iron spirits from a different age, back when we were writing on a cleaner page. They're cold to the touch and they're covered in rust, the relics of a kingdom that turned into dust. I'm holding the weight of the secrets we kept, and the ghosts of the rooms where we finally slept. This one opened up the house by the sea, before you decided you didn't need me. And this one turned the lock on the chest at the bed, where we hid all the letters that'll never be read, the skeleton keys for a heart made of bone. Now I'm trying to unlock this life on my own, but the tumblers are frozen, the hinges are tight, and I can't find the one that leads back to the light. They're just skeleton keys to a hollowed out past, to a love that was built but wasn't meant to last. echoes a pocket of stone with skeleton keys to a house, not a home. What do you do when the doors have all changed, when the maps of your heart have been rearranged? I've got the access, I've got the metal in hand, but I'm standing outside of a ghost-ridden land. Yeah, they're just skeleton keys to a hollowed-out past, to a love that was built but wasn't meant to last. I'm trying every lock, I'm turning every handle, but I'm just a shadow with a flickering candle. A ring full of echoes, a pocket of stone with skeleton keys to a house, not a home. Jingle of metal, ooh, rattle of bone. I'm unlocking the silence of being alone. Lock it up, walk away. Standing in the kitchen by the humming of the fridge, careful not to step onto the ruins of the bridge. How's your mother? And the weather's getting cold. The safest little stories that have already been told. I'm looking at your collar, you're looking at the clock. The key is in the air, but we're staring at the lock. I like your hair, and did you see the morning news? Anything to keep from talking about the things we lose between your I'm doing fine and my I'm doing okay. Is a canyon wide enough to wash the world away? Every word's a pebble that we're throwing down a well, waiting for a splash that we know we'll never feel. It's just small talk and big gaps tonight. Everything's polite, but nothing's really right. We're dancing on the surface of a frozen black lake, avoiding every truth for a hollow piece of slate. The sentences are short, but the silence is long, in the big gaps where we both went wrong. We're dancing on the surface of a frozen black lake, avoiding every truth for a hollow piece of slate. The sentences are short, but the silence is long, in the big gaps where we both went wrong. Take care, you too. The biggest gaps are between me and you. See you around, big gaps. Big gaps. I'm driving south on a road to nowhere, with 100 miles of ghost in the rearview mirror. I reach for the dial to drown out the quiet to stop the thoughts from starting a riot. But the further I get from the city we knew, the more the signals start slipping from view. I'm hunting for a song that we used to sing, but the speakers are rattling with the hollow ring. Just a jagged hiss and a white noise hum, like the ghost of a beat on a broken drum. I'm twisting the knot, but it's all out of range, just like the way that we both started to change. Now it's just static on the radio, lost in the air. I'm searching for a voice that isn't even there between the frequencies and the interstate lines. I'm losing the rhythm and I'm missing the signs. A long distance signal is starting to fade into the static on the radio we made. Sometimes a word cuts through the debris, a syllable sounding like you were like me, but it's gone in a flash, swallowed by the roar of the distance between us and the closing of the door. Yeah, it's just static on the radio, lost in the air. I'm searching for a voice that isn't even there between the frequencies and the interstate lines. I'm losing the rhythm and I'm missing the signs. A long distance signal is starting to fade into the static on the radio we made. Nothing but noise for miles and miles, just the static and the empty silence. The station clock is shivering at 3 a.m. I'm standing on the platform, just one of them, with a suitcase full of maybe and a heart made of lead, replaying every single word that we never said. The tracks stretch out like silver veins in the dark, leading away from the place where we lost the spark. I see the yellow headlights cutting through the fog, the final line sentence in our travelogue. I'm checking my pocket for a ticket to anywhere, while the steam from the engine chokes the cold night air. I thought you'd come on and I thought you'd say wait, but the silence of the terminal is sealing my fate. I'm taking the last train out of this town, watching the walls of our kingdom come down. The whistle is screaming along lonely blue as I'm pulling away from the spirit of you. Still on the gravel, we're in a goodbye underneath the hollow indifferent sky. Yeah, I'm on the last train home. One foot on the metal, one foot on the stone. The hardest part of leaving is leaving alone. The conductor is calling, the doors start to slide, and there's nowhere left for a broken heart to hide. I'm taking the last train out of this town, watching the break of the day. Click, clack, click, clack, gone. I'm tracing a line with a trembling hand across a valley of ink and a desert of sand. The ink is still wet on the you and I trail, but the compass is spinning and starting to fail. I've got the landmarks of where we once stood, the old coffee shop and the edge of the wood, but the paper is tearing right down the seam, leaving me lost in a cartographer's dream. I look for the mountain we promised to climb, but it's buried beneath all the wreckage of time. There's an X marks the spot where your heart used to beat. Now it's just static in a dead-end street. I'm folding the edges, I'm turning around, but the north that I knew is no longer found. It's a beautiful drawing of a life we once planned, but the borders have shifted like the sea and the strand. I'm holding the map to nowhere today, watching the colors all bleed into gray. A path with no ending, a road with no home, in a kingdom of silence where I'm left to roam. Every mile is a memory, every turn is a lie. On the map to nowhere, under a hollow sky. You can't navigate by a star that's gone out. You can't find a way through a forest of doubt. I'm burning the edges to keep myself warm in the middle of nowhere, in the heart of the storm. Yeah, I'm holding a map to nowhere today, watching the colors all bleed into gray. A path with no ending, a road with no home, in a kingdom of silence where I'm left to roam. Every mile is a memory, every turn is a lie. On the map to nowhere, under a hollow sky. No destination, just a blank white space. I'm folding it up to hide your face. Lost on the map to nowhere. Looking at the calendar, the one we bought in June. It's marked with all the birthdays and that trip in late July. But the ink just stops in August, like a song that ends too soon, before we had the chance to say a real and true goodbye. I still have the tickets to the show we never saw, tucked inside the pocket of my winter coat. The seasons kept on moving, following a natural law, but I'm still stuck on every word you never wrote. September brought the colors, but I only saw the gray. October was a hollow when I whistled through the eaves. I spent November wishing I could find a way to make you stay. instead of just a memory falling with the leaves. By the time the frost had settled on the edges of our bed, the silence was a mountain that I couldn't even climb. I'm living in the shadow of the things we never said, while I'm running out of reasons and I'm running out of time. It's the year you didn't stay, the year the clock's all broke, the year our happy ending went up in a cloud of smoke. I'm counting all the months by the holes you left behind, searching for a version of us I'll never find. 12 months of missing you, 365 of blue in the long, lonely winter of the year without you. They say that time heals everything, that life just carries on. But there's a glitch in every sunrise since the day that you were gone. I'm circling the dates where your name used to be, trying to find the us in this new version of me. Yeah, it's the year you didn't stay, the year the clock's all broke, the year our happy ending went up in a cloud of smoke. I'm counting all the months by the holes you left behind, searching for a version of us I'll never find. 12 months of missing you, 365 of blue in the long, lonely winter of the year without you. Spring is coming back, but the flowers feel like lies. I'm still staring at the winter in the corner of your eyes, the year you didn't stay. I found a bobby pin tucked in the rug, a tiny iron anchor from a world I used to hug. And there's a ring on the nightstand from a water glass, a permanent circle where the hours used to pass. The scent of your shampoo is hiding in the hall, like a secret kept by the shadow on the wall. I see the way you used to fold the corner of the page in the book on the shelf that's starting to age. A fingerprint smudge on the stainless steel is the only thing left that feels almost real. I'm walking through a minefield of things you left behind, triggers for the heart and whispers for the mind. Everywhere I look, there are traces of you, stuck in the cracks of everything I do. A ghost in the kitchen, a breath on the pane, a lingering sweetness in the middle of the rain. I'm trying to sweep up the dust of us two, but I'm drowning in the traces of you. They say I should scrub every surface and floor, walking out the door. But if I clean the house until the colors all shine, I'll be erasing the only parts of you that are mine. Yeah, everywhere I look, there are traces of you, stuck in the cracks of everything I do. A ghost in the kitchen, a breath on the pain, a lingering sweetness in the middle of the rain. I'm trying to sweep up the dust of us two, but I'm drowning in the traces of you. A hair on my sweater, a key on the hook. I'm still seeing you everywhere I look. Just traces, tiny traces of you. The shore is a sliver, a line in the distance. I'm fighting the current with a tired resistance. My clothes are so heavy, they're pulling me down, like the weight of your name in the seaside town. I'm gasping for air while the salt hits my tongue, still singing the songs that we used to have sung. But the sky is indifferent, the water is deep, and I'm losing the promises I tried to keep. I look for your hand, but I only find foam in a vast rolling blue that will never be home. Every wave is a memory of how we both crashed against the sharp rocks where the forever was smashed. I'm kicking my legs till my muscles all ache, just to keep my cold head from the path that you take. But the horizon is empty, the seagulls are gone, and it's hard to keep floating when the night's coming on. I'm just treading water, barely keeping afloat, in the middle of an ocean without any boat. My heart is a lead weight, my spirit is thin. I'm losing the battle with the world I am in. A mile from the ending, a foot from the start, just treading the water of a broken down heart. The surface is glass, but the pressure is real. It's the numbing of everything I used to feel. If I stop for a second, if I close my tired eyes, I'll be swallowed by shadows and beautiful lies. Yeah, I'm just treading water, barely keeping afloat, in the middle of an ocean without any boat. My heart is a lead weight, my spirit is thin. I'm losing the battle with the world I am in. Oh, a mile from the ending, a foot from the start, just treading the water of a broken down heart. Bubbles in the dark, the lights getting dim. I'm too far from land to try for a swim, just treading physical blow, but I'm already awake, watching the dawnlight grow. I reach out instinctively to brush back your hair, but my fingers just sink into the cold, empty air. The duvet is flat on the right-hand side, a desert of linen where I used to hide. I'm anchored to the edge, afraid to move over, still smelling the ghost of your lime and clover. The pillows are neatly stacked, undisturbed, like a quiet apology that was never heard. It's a vast white ocean of cotton and thread, and I'm drowning in the space of half a bed. Oh, there's nothing quite as lonely as waking up slow to a side of the mattress where the heart used to go. It's a king-size canyon, a boundary line between the life that was yours and the one that is mine. The sun is rising, but I'm seeing red, just waking up to half a bed. I could stretch out my legs, I could take up the space, I could sleep in the middle and forget your face, but the symmetry's broken, the balance is gone, and I'm shivering here in the light of the dawn. Yeah, there's nothing quite as lonely as waking up slow to a side of the mattress where the heart used to go. It's a king-size canyon, a boundary line between the life that was yours and the one that is mine. The sun is rising, but I'm seeing red, just waking up to half a bed. Still on my side, still on in the cold, waiting for a hand that I no longer hold. Half a bed, half a life. Good morning. They're tangled in a heap beside the bedroom door, a faded denim ghost lying on the floor. They still hold the shape of the way you move, a wrinkled reminder of a worn-out groove. I should pick them up, I should throw them in the wash, but I'm scared to lose the scent of the world we squashed. The pocket's got a receipt from the diner down the street, 2 coffees and a muffin. God, we felt complete. Now the fabric is cold and the thread is coming loose, like the tightening forever that we turned into a noose. I'm wearing your old hoodie just to feel the weight of a version of us that wasn't decided by fate. I'm just living in yesterday's clothes tonight, stuck in the fabric where the fit was right, buttoned up in memories, zipped in the past, trying to make a Tuesday feeling really last. The stains are all permanent, the colors are gray, just in the us that you threw away. Tomorrow's in the closet, fresh and clean and new, but but I'm not ready for a morning without a trace of you. So I'll sleep in the creases and I'll hide in the sleeves, in the only sanctuary a broken heart believes. Yeah, I'm living in yesterday's clothes tonight, stuck in the fabric where the fit was right, buttoned up in memories zipped in the past, trying to make a Tuesday feeling really last. The stains are all permanent, the colors are gray, dressed in the us that you threw away. Unraveling one thread at a time, trust in love. Oh, that's no longer mine, just yesterday's.